Tory MP Michael Gove stunned clubbers over the weekend when he began busting some moves in a suit on the dance floor of an Aberdeen club.
Well, the 54-year-old's arm waving left us wondering if perhaps there should be an age limit on nightclubs. Suggestions that those aged 40 and over should be banned. Joining us now to discuss this is 78-year-old broadcasting legend Tony Blackburn, who says it's nice to see older people letting their hair down. And also with us this morning, 22-year-old R&B star Talia Storm, who says it is cringe and uncomfortable seeing older people dance. Good morning to both of you. Talia, coming to you first of all. I mean, you know, what's wrong with it? Everybody's enjoying themselves, aren't they? You know, when you're a bit older, you kind of maybe just care less about what other people are thinking. You're just more prepared to go for it. Shouldn't that be celebrated?
I love that. You know, the thought of seeing everybody live their best lives, I'm all here for it. But I'm 22 years old. I'm only just coming into my prime. I do not want to walk into the club and see my dad's friends, or even my granddad cutting some shapes. And I'm just not sure what we have in common. You know, do they like Tion Wayne? Do they like Central C? I'm not sure if they'd even be able to relate to, you know, Top Hits UK right now. So I think, you know, all up for cutting some shapes. But I think, you know, the £5 entry fee, the £2 shots, they can be left to us youngsters. And you guys have many more options to head to.
Tony, when you see Michael Gove there, I mean, I'm over 40. We're all over 40, apart from Talia. But you see that, yeah, not Charlotte, she's 21. But when you see that, I must admit, I'm with her, because no one wants to see that.
Yeah, why not? He's having fun. I mean, and I must say, your cameraman, what a mover he is.
Yes.
As well. Fantastic.
Yeah. Let's take the opportunity to replay this one, because this happened earlier on Good Morning Britain. I mean... There's Darren in all his glory, and we should celebrate this, should we?
Yeah, who wouldn't want to see him dancing around in a nightclub, for God's sake? I mean, fantastic. No, I think Michael Gove is having fun. And I mean, if you took this to extremes and banned people over the age of 40 from being in a club, how about all those people in Ibiza, all the DJs there? They're all over 40. Do you stop them performing? It's ridiculous.
Yes, because you yourself have DJed in Ibiza, haven't you?
Well, I was 60 when I first went to Ibiza. I don't go there now, but yeah, I was 60. And then when I'd done my set, I went to a club that was playing trance music, and I loved it. And I don't just see why it should be that you're over 40 and you can't go to a club. It's obviously ridiculous. And with all due respect, somebody of 22 years old, you've only got 18 years left, so you better get on with it.
This is our exact point, Tony. I've got catching up to do. You know, I need to get out on the scene. I need to be on that dance floor and having a bit of fun.
I mean, Tony, just thinking about if you owned a nightclub, so the owner of that Aberdeen nightclub, Michael Gove comes in, he pays the same, although there are allegations that he tried to get him for free, but he pays the same as everyone else. That's not going to be a good look for his nightclub, is it? I mean, really, young people aren't going to come to flock to that nightclub when they see him there.
I think they will flock to the nightclub to see him there. Who wouldn't want to see Michael Gove dancing around like that? I'm sure we'll be seeing him on Strictly Come Dancing next. I mean, the one thing I would say to Michael is that don't go in with a suit on next time. Get a pair of tight jeans and a shirt or something, and you'll fit in better. But there's nothing wrong. I think, actually, there should be clubs for 40-year-olds and over. I mean, why not? I mean, we're doing a Sound of the 60s show at the moment in the theatres, and it's lovely to see the older people getting up and dancing. It's absolutely fabulous. Why shouldn't we, over the age of 40, be allowed to have a bit of fun? And when you get a bit older, you don't care as much as when you are 22 years old or 24 years old. And I know what she means about having her dad, you know, seeing her dad in a club, but why not? It doesn't matter.
You've just said that image of Michael Gove in tight trousers has just done it.
Has that pushed you over the edge now? I mean, Talia, we're talking about, obviously, Michael Gove's a politician. Would you make exceptions for some people with your suggestion that there should be this age ban? I mean, what if it was the Rolling Stones, for example? You know, would you be saying to them, no, can't see that dancing anywhere in my vicinity?
Well, my brother actually just turned 17 yesterday, so he has 1 year left until he can hit the clubs. And we were talking about this morning. I was like, Johnny, what do you think if you saw a politician, if you saw a 50-year-old, 60-year-old granddad in the club, how are you feeling? And he was like, absolutely not. That's the prime. He wants to have fun. Now, I like Tony's point. I think we should talk about, you know, perhaps a separate place for, the over 50s to 60s to cut some shapes. But I'm just not sure that when, we're having fun, we're dancing with our friends, that environment for both of us is really in sync. Because speaking from my own experience, the 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds, they're not there to dance. From my own experience, it's kind of cringy, kind of creepy. They're judging, they're staring at me, and I just want to have some fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hate to break it to you, though. We've got this Twitter poll running this morning, and we've been keeping an eye on the results of it so far. 84% say no, over 40s shouldn't be banned from nightclubs. So, Tony, it seems that, your dancing days aren't over just yet. Are you pleased with that result?
Well, I am pleased. Unfortunately, I'm one of the world's worst dancers. And so I was very impressed by Michael Gove. I thought he was fantastic. And but I'm not a very good dancer, but I do think that everybody over the age of 40 should be allowed to have a bit of fun, for goodness sake. It's obvious, and I'm glad that everybody's voting for us not to be kept in and just watching television at home, but getting out there and dancing. And I really do think that a club for the over 40s should be established as soon as possible, a whole chain of them, so we can get all the 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds and even up to 80 and 90-year-olds dancing away like mad.
You might be onto something there. I've got a message here from David, actually, on Twitter, who's got in touch, saying they need to have their own special nightclubs with extra dim lights, deep heat-type muscle pain relief sprays and cocoa available at the bar. Also, perhaps defibrillators and paramedics on standby. That's a bit rude, isn't it? I'm not sure that's needed for the over 40s, but thank you both for that. It's been a great discussion.